Greetings and salutations and welcome to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Scott Nason filling in for Matt Pocket on this Friday night. Our broadcast engineer back in the Country 105 studios is Tiffany Stratton as we are in Rudyard, Michigan on this Friday night, senior night in Rudyard for 8-player football in the Great Lakes 8 East Division play as the Rudyard Bulldogs, 4-2 on the season, will take on the Engadine Eagles, who are 0-6. This the 31st meeting ever between the Rudyard Bulldogs and the Engadine Eagles in high school football. They've been playing 8-player football for a few years. This is the 6th matchup in 8-player football. Last year, the Rudyard Bulldogs defeated Engadine by the score of 60-0. But Engadine has won 3 of the 5 games against Rudyard in their 8-player football history. Going back to their 11-player football history, the last win for the Rudyard Bulldogs over Engadine was in 1991 as the Bulldogs won that game by the score of 24-8. Engadine's last win was 1990, a 14-6 win over the Rudyard Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs lead that series 16-9. The Rudyard Bulldogs, after getting off to a 4-0 start on the season, they've dropped 2 straight games, including 2 weeks ago here in Rudyard on homecoming, as they fell to the Newberry Indians by the score of 34-28. And last week, the Bulldogs traveled to Munising and fell to the Mustangs by the score of 28-16. The Bulldogs led at half against Munising last week by the score of 9-6, but the Munising Mustangs would end up getting that victory. Engadine, they are winless on the season after forfeiting 2 games this year because of COVID-19. They resumed action last Saturday at home and fell to Bear Lake by the score of 40-30. Engadine doesn't look like they are going to make the 8-player playoffs coming up here in a few weeks, but Rudyard, they still have a good chance to make the postseason. However, in the latest Snooze to You rankings, yes, that's an actual website, and an accurate one at that, after Week 6, the Bulldogs are on the outside looking in after losing 2 straight. So this is a very big game for the Rudyard Bulldogs and their playoff chances, as their next 2 games, both on the road, are against some pretty good teams, Gaylord St. Mary's and Pickford. So for the Bulldogs, they want to get to 6 wins, and that will pretty much assure them a postseason slot. They still could get into the playoffs with a 5-4 record, but they're not worried about playoffs right now. They're worried about this game. Well, the kickoff coming up here in a few minutes. The playoff picture looks like this: an 8-player football Division I, Rudyard, which is the division the Rudyard Bulldogs are in. Pickford would be the 1 seed if the playoffs started today in Region 1 and would host Munising. That will certainly be a good game if it happens, while the 2-3 matchup in Region 1 sees Newberry hosting Ontonagon. But as you know, lots can change, not just this week, but in the upcoming 2 weeks, so lots is on the line tonight. In the Great Lakes Conference 8 East Division standings, there are 3 teams with just 1 loss in the conference, including Newberry and Pickford, who the Bulldogs' last 2 opponents, and are both 4-1 in conference play, with Pickford a 3-1 record. Other games going on tonight in 8-player football around the area. We'll try to get an update on this one at halftime. A big game in Newberry, their home finale, as they will host Pickford, a pair of 5-1 and 4-1 teams there. Cedarville, they are at home to Gaylord St. Mary's, and Brimley, who has had 2 straight forfeit victories, is at Ironwood tonight. In 11-player football, a big game at the A.J. Van Sitters Field, as the Sioux High Blue Devils, who are hoping to get back in the playoff picture in Division 4, they will be taking on undefeated Traverse City St. Francis. After last week's wild loss to the Vikings, the Blue Devils, like the Rudyard Bulldogs, are on the outside looking in and will need to win 2 of their last 3 games to have any playoff possibilities. And with the new playoff points set up this year, they're likely going to have to win all 3 games, in my opinion, and get to 7-2 because of their schedule. St. Ignace, who won their first game last week at Johannesburg-Lewiston, they are at Manistee tonight. In other games in the Upper Peninsula in high school football tonight, Gladstone is at Negaunee. Hancock travels to Iron Mountain. North Central will host Ontonagon. Escanaba, they host Kewanee, Wisconsin. Wrightstown, Wisconsin hosts Kingsford. Menominee is at Marquette. Lance is at Westwood. West Iron County at Ishpeming. Forest Park hosts Gogebic. North Dickinson is at Rapid River. Gwynn is at Bark River Harris. And Stevenson visits Negaunee. In games in the northern Lower Peninsula involving Northern Michigan Football League teams, Legends Division play, Kingsley is at Ogama Heights, Sheboygan hosts Benzie Central, and Grayling is at Tawas. Weather pretty good, all things considered tonight. The forecast this morning looked pretty ominous, but no rain is falling right now. Temperatures in the low 60s. We do have some field conditions are too bad, not quite like the Mud Bowl that was here last year around this time, and so conditions look pretty good for football. We're going to take a break here in our pregame show. We come back, we'll have the opening kick of tonight's game here in Rudyard between the Engadine Eagles and the Rudyard Bulldogs. You are listening to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Scott Nason filling in for Matt Pocket on this Friday night. Our broadcast engineer back in the Country 105 studios is Tiffany Stratton as we are underway here in Rudyard as the Engadine Eagles 0-6 on the season are taking on the Rudyard Bulldogs, who are 4-2. As the Engadine Eagles will have a 3rd down and 9, as that was a 2-yard loss by Connor Hall. We did have a little technical difficulties there in pregame and before this game, but thanks to Frank Blissett and Tiffany Stratton to figure out the bugs, and so we are underway here in Rudyard, Michigan. 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles. We played 1 minute in this first quarter, no score. Now the Eagles with the ball, shotgun formation, man in motion, a bad handoff there as the quarterback's going to be sacked way back at about the own 12-yard line.
18 taken down by Root and Ian.
As Root and Ian have the sack for the Rudyard Bulldogs, so Engadine now with a 4th and long, and doesn't look like they're going to punt here. They do have one man back for the Bulldogs. That's Aiden Bickle, and now the Engadine player, their number 18, Matthias Miller, will punt at about his own 5-yard line. Snap a little high, kick very high. Not a bad kick, as that one's going to bounce at the 45-yard line. Take an eagle bounce, now bounce back right at about the 50-yard line. So the Bulldogs will take over from there. 1st down and 10, 10:05 to play in this first quarter. We have no score. So as we talked about in our pregame show, the Rudyard Bulldogs right now 4-2 on the season after losing 2 straight games. They lost last week at Munising, and then they fell 2 weeks ago here in Rudyard against the Newberry Indians. So big game for the Rudyard Bulldogs and their playoff possibilities. With the win, they will be back in the playoff picture. Right now, they're the last team out in 8-player football. Now shotgun formation for the Bulldogs. Man in motion, that's Peterson, as Suggett will hand it off to Peterson. Peterson gets across the 45. He's going to be close to the 1st down, and I think he got it. That'll be a 10-yard run for Peterson and a Bulldogs 1st down. Engadine 0-6 on the season as they resumed action last Saturday at home against Bear Lake. They fell by the score of 40-30. A short bench for the Eagles. They only brought looks like 11 players here in Rudyard. Rudyard certainly has a lot more players on the bench. So 1st down for the Bulldogs, ball at the 38-yard line of the Eagles. Now Peterson in motion. Suggett takes the snap, drops back, looking downfield. He's got a man open, and that'll be a completed pass and a touchdown for the Rudyard Bulldogs. A 38-yard touchdown pass. As Austin Root Beer Warner, as he's called in these parts, will get the Bulldogs on the board with 9:32 to play in this first quarter. Rudyard leads by the score of 6-0. Well, that didn't take long for the Bulldogs, just 2 plays. And so Rudyard with a 38-yard touchdown pass. Peterson to Warner. And now the extra point attempt. And that one's up, and that one's good, so Jacob Nolan with the extra point, and it's 7-0 Bulldogs, 9:32 to play in this first quarter. Jacob Nolan has kicked a lot of extra points this season, now 20 for 23. That is a very good stat, and we don't see a whole lot of extra point kickers in these parts, and certainly Rudyard has one of the best in the area, if not the best. 7-0 Rudyard, 9:32 to play in this first quarter. Lots of sports on our airwaves tonight. Frank Blissett is bouncing between studios as we have Laker hockey coming up Right about now over on our sister station, Yes FM, as the Lakers 1-1 on the season after their split at Nebraska-Omaha. They will be at the University of Michigan. Certainly a tough test for the Lake Superior State University Lakers, University of Michigan. 4 of the top 5 picks in this year's NHL draft all playing for the Michigan Wolverines, so the Lakers certainly have their hands full tonight. So E.J. Suggett, a 38-yard touchdown pass. And the Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead. Now a good kick by the Bulldogs, taken by the Eagles at their own 10-yard line. They're going to cut it in the middle of the field, and they'll get to about the 34-yard line. And so Engadine didn't do anything on their first possession. They're hoping to do a little more on this one. So a 38-yard touchdown pass, Suggett to Warner. I was trying to get my stats sorted out here. So Engadine now on their second possession, ball at the 34-yard line, now tight formation. Quarterback Matthias Miller in the shotgun. Man in motion now. Miller will keep it, maybe a yard, not too much there. Peterson on the tackle for the Bulldogs. We'll give Miller 1 on that one. And so it'll be 2nd down and 9 for Engadine. Engadine looking to get their first win of the season. Rudyard last year defeated Engadine 60-0. However, in 8-player football, Engadine leads the series between these two schools 3-2. No gain on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 10. Now man in motion, fake the handoff. Now on the counter. It's going to be a gainer of about 2. Kind of tough to pick up some of these Engadine numbers here. That's number 15, Peterson McKeague with the carry. We'll give him 2 on the play. That'll make it 3rd down. Engadine in their road white jerseys with the yellow helmets and green and yellow pads. However, some of the numbers are green and some of the numbers are yellow, so it's hard to pick out the yellow for somebody that's legally colorblind that's broadcasting tonight. 3rd down and 8 for Engadine. 8:15 to play in this first quarter. 7-0 the Bulldogs lead. Ball at the 35-yard line of Engadine. Now a pitch to the left, and that's going to be nothing there. Might have been a loss of 1, as that was Cam Peterson again on the tackle. And so number 22, Connor Hall, not having a whole lot of success here. 2 carries, -3 yards. So that's going to bring up another 4th down and 10 for Engadine. Ball at the 35-yard line of the Eagles. More than likely will punt on this play. Looks like Aiden Bickle back to receive, or take the kick rather, for Rudyard, as he backs up to about the 25-yard line of the Bulldogs, as Matthias Miller set to kick. And he'll back up to his own 25-yard line. Snap, a little high. Miller with another high kick. He's doing a good job getting those in the air, but not a bad kick, as that's going to dribble down to the 34-yard line of the Rudyard Bulldogs, so they'll take over from there. 7:17 to play in this first quarter. Rudyard leads by the score of 7-0. As I mentioned, lots of sports on our airwaves over on our sister station, 1230 WSOL. The Soo High Blue Devils taking on Traverse City St. Francis at the A.J. Van Sitters Field. Dave Watson and Ryan Woolen on color for that one, as the Blue Devils need a win. They need a few wins to get into the playoffs. So here we go. Bulldogs with it. Suggett will keep it, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. It looks like that was number 57, Drew French, in on the play. Heard that name a lot in Rudyard, or I'd rather say Engadine sports. Usually a lot of Frenches there. So that'll make it 2nd down and 11. Loss of 1 on the play. That's Suggett's first rush. Now tight formation. Suggett in the shotgun formation. 2 split out to the right. Now he'll drop back. He's got a man open, and that's Peterson. He'll get across the 50 to the 40. Peterson will get all the way down to the 32-yard line. So a nice gainer there for the Bulldogs, as that was E.J. Suggett to Cam Peterson. We have to do a lot of math as far as how many yards that was. We'll say about 32 yards on the pass. So that's Peterson's first reception. And so the Bulldogs will have it first down and 10, ball at their own 33-yard line. 6:20 to play in this first quarter. Rudyard leads 7-0. Now Peterson will hand it off, and that's going to be a big run, and it could be a touchdown run, and it will be. That's going to be a 33-yard touchdown run by Aiden Bickle. And this one could be a runaway here in Rudyard. With 6:10 to play in this first quarter, Rudyard leads by the score of 13-0. So a 33-yard touchdown run by Aiden Bickle, and now Jacob Nolan will attempt the extra point. As points are coming fast and furious for the Bulldogs. Good snap, good kick. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 6:10 to play in this first quarter, Rudyard leads by the score of 14-0. Well, we talked about the playoff picture after Week 6. Right now, the Rudyard Bulldogs, they are on the outside looking in. They are the 17th ranked team in 8-player football Division I. So a win here will more than likely get them back in the playoff picture. But if the playoffs started today, Pickford, who's the number 1 seed in Region 1, they would host Munising, while the 2-3 matchup in Region 1 sees Newberry hosting Ontonagon. And those two teams, Pickford and Newberry, they're playing tonight in Newberry, both 5-1. Certainly we'll keep an eye on that one. Hopefully we can get maybe a score update at halftime, but that one should be a dandy. And so now the Rudyard Bulldogs in their home black jerseys with the orange numbers and socks will kick off at their own 40-yard line. So 2 touchdowns on about 5 plays for the Rudyard Bulldogs, a 38-yard touchdown pass. Suggett to Warner, and that latest score, a 33-yard touchdown run by Aiden Bickle. So now Nolan set to kick off for Rudyard. As Engadine has a player all the way back at their own 10-yard line, giving Nolan a lot of respect on the kick. And that'll be taken by Hall. He's going to cut it up to the far side of the field, and he'll be tripped up at about the 32-yard line. As Austin Warner in on the tackle for the Bulldogs. So Engadine looking to get something going here. 6:04 to play in this first quarter. They trail Rudyard 14-0. Our EUP Game of the Week next week will be in Pickford, as the Pickford Panthers will take on the Cedarville-DeTour Islanders. Still getting used to saying that one. And I'll be filling in for Matt Pocket next week as well. We'll have the pregame show around 6:45. Now the quarterback for Engadine will keep it. That's number 18, Mateus Miller. Looks like he got a couple on the run as he runs that one up the middle. As they'll spot that one at the 34-yard line of the Eagles with 5:45 to play here in this first quarter. Crowd still filing in here at Rudyard. It was senior night as the seniors were honored before the game. Now Miller in the shotgun formation. 2 split out, 1 to each side. Now man in motion. Miller is going to keep it again, and he's not going to get a whole lot. Maybe a yard on the play as a bevy of Bulldogs in on the tackle. We'll give him 1 on the unofficial stats. That'll make it 3rd down and 7. As the ball now right at the Eagles' 35-yard line. Engadine looking to get on the board here, looking to get a first down. They haven't as of yet. They've been 3 and out in their first 2 possessions. Now 3rd down and 7, 5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Rudyard with a 14-0 lead. Same formation for the Eagles. Now Miller. Got a flag on the play. He's looking downfield, but there's nobody there, and he gets roughed out of bounds. Gain of about 2, as that was Damon McDowell with the tackle for the Bulldogs. We have a flag on the play. As our referee tonight, Jeff Clark. That's going to be, I believe, an illegal shift or motion on Engadine, and Rudyard more than likely will decline this one, although I think that was, now they're going to take that one, as that was before the snap. I'm not sure, but nevertheless, they're going to bring that one back to about the 30-yard line of Engadine, so that's going to make it 3rd down and 12. Don't know how much this team passes. They do have 1 player set out to the far sideline. He's on the bench. Never mind. So 3rd down and 12, man in motion. Now Miller rolls to the near side, looking downfield. That one had no chance as he was pressured by number 30, Ian Brady. And so that's going to be the first pass attempt for Mr. Miller, and that one unsuccessful, bring up 4th down. So Rudyard's defense, the story so far, and their offense has been pretty good as well. Number 4 is actually Dylan McMillan. Thank you, Mr. Sprague, for the clarification. Just when I thought I had the rosters all set, they throw that one at me. That's all right, I want to be accurate here. Now the kick goes to the 30-yard line. That's going to be taken by Bickle. He's going to run it up the middle, get across the 50, Bickle to the 40, and Bickle might go all the way. Bickle across the 30, cuts it to the, almost cut it to the far sideline. He's tripped up at the, it's like the 25-yard line. Great return by Aiden Bickle, and so Rudyard in business yet again. With 4:07 to play in this first quarter, they lead 14-0. And this one, like I said, kind of knew going in, this could be the result. Still lots of football to play, but right now it is all Rudyard. So one wide receiver set to the near side, one to the right, one in the backfield. Suggett now in the shotgun, just going to run it up the middle. Suggett bowls ahead. He might go all the way, and E.J. Suggett with a 24-yard touchdown run for the Rudyard Bulldogs as they are making it look easy as they lead 20-0 with 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. Didn't even have a chance to get the Rudyard stat sheets out before they scored. I think they've run 7 plays, and they have 3 touchdowns already. So now the extra point attempt by Jacob Nolan. Good snap, good kick again. Boy, Nolan just makes that look easy. And it's 21-0 with 4 minutes left here in this first quarter. So the Rudyard Bulldogs taking care of business, certainly not overlooking this game. After back-to-back losses to Munising and Newberry, I almost say the Bulldogs are playing mad, and they should, because that's how you want to play, especially if you want to get in the playoffs. Sioux Greyhounds hockey tonight over on our sister station, Rock 101, with Jerry Liscombe Jr. as the Greyhounds taking on the North Bay Battalion. That one underway. The Sioux Eagles also in action tonight as they are taking on the Sioux Thunderbirds at the John Rhodes Community Center. We'll try to get some scoreboard updates as we go along. As we very well could have a running clock here, maybe even in this half. We'll just have to see. So the Bulldogs set to kick off again as Jacob Nolan will place the ball at the 40-yard line. Good weather here in Rudyard. No rain. Field is holding up well. There's a chance of rain tonight, but looking at the radar coming in, doesn't look like we're going to get too much. Now Nolan, line drive kick, and that'll be taken by Hall. He's going to run it up the middle. Hall will be knocked down hard at about the 31-yard line. Looks like Tate Besteman, one of the players in on the tackle, and so Engadine looking for their first down as they will take the ball at their own 31-yard line with 3:55 to play in this first quarter. 21-0 Rudyard. Engadine's going to have to try to figure out how to get this offense moving so far. They've pretty much had the same formation this entire game. Oh, this one looks a little different. Shotgun formation. Mateus Miller, the big quarterback for the Eagles. Now man in motion, and Miller's going to keep that one again and get a few yards there. Big hit by the Rudyard player. That was Besteman again. And so we'll give Miller about 3 yards on the play. And so Miller with 5 of the 8 rushes so far for Engadine. And just a handful of yards so far. But that moves the ball up a few yards. As that'll be at the 34-yard line, so a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7, 3:25 to play here in this first quarter. Rudyard with a 21-0 lead. Now 2 in the backfield. Miller, quarterback, fakes the handoff. Now on the counter, nothing doing there. Peterson, along with number 23, I believe, Austin Warner on the tackle, and I think there's a fumble on the play, and that's going to be the Bulldogs who will take over. Big hit on number 22, Connor Hall, as he's had a rough start to this game. 3 carries, -5 yards. And so Rudyard in business again. They'll have it 1st and 10, ball at the Eagles' 34-yard line. The Bulldogs lead by the score of 21-0. So now the Bulldogs will run it to the line. Aaron McDowell, the center for the Bulldogs. Now they have 2 split out to the right, 1 in the backfield, 1 to the left side. Man in motion. Suggett's going to hand that off. I believe that's Besteman in with about a 5-yard gain, but we do have a flag on the play, and you would think that might be holding in that area, but we'll see what our officials say on that one. Or maybe there's too many men on the field. Engadine has, it's not 9-player football. They have 9 players on the field, so that's going to go against the Eagles. Just 2 on the bench, so we'll see. I would imagine you'd take the penalty in this situation because it would save you a down. Yep, too many men on the field by the Eagles. And so they're going to take it after the run. So that'll give the Bulldogs a 1st down. They're taking it way down there. Is that a 15-yarder? Okay, so that's going to bring it to the 15-yard line. Besteman looked like he got about 5 on the play. Curious call there. Now Suggett in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff, and a wide open player. That one was way too easy as Cam Peterson will haul that one in. A 14-yard touchdown pass by E.J. Suggett, his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. As the Bulldogs are running away with this one with 2:49 to play in the first quarter, they lead by the score of 27-0. So Peterson now with 2 receptions, and Jordan Nolan with 3 extra points already. He's going to try his 4th. And he's pretty much been automatic. I believe one of those 3 missed extra points was blocked, but he is having one heck of a season for the Bulldogs. If I'm not mistaken, he plays soccer at Sioux High. Get those soccer guys on there. I like that. Now the extra point is up, and the extra point is good. With 2:49 to play in this first quarter, it is all Rudyard. They lead by the score of 28-0. So a 14-yard touchdown pass, Suggett to Peterson. Two touchdown passes by Suggett so far tonight. And Engadine really up against it now. Other games going on in high school football around the area. In 8-player football, we mentioned Newberry. They are hosting Pickford tonight over on our sister station, WNBI, with the one and only Casey Cook on the call. Cedarville, they're back in action. Cedarville-DeTour, I should say, as they are home to a very good Gaylord St. Mary's team, while Brimley, they've had 2 straight wins, but they played COVID-19 and been successful. They're going to look for their first win on the field tonight as they make the long trek over to Ironwood. Sioux High in action tonight, hosting at Traverse City St. Francis over on 1230 WSO with Dave Watson and Ryan Woolen. And St. Ignace, who earned their first win of the year last week at Johannesburg-Lewiston. They are taking on Manistee tonight. So lots of football around the area, and Dave Watson will have all the scores tomorrow morning on Coach's Corner. 11:05 live from Applebee's on the I-75 Business Spur in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. As that'll be a kick, good kick again, taken at the 15-yard line by Hall. Now Hall's going to run that one up the middle, be tripped up by Besteman as he'll get across the 30-yard line. We'll spot it at the 32. So Engadine looking to try to get something going here. With 2:43 to play in the first quarter, they trail by the score of 28-0. Engadine, they've had to forfeit games this season because of COVID-19 and the spread. They got back in action last Saturday at home as they took on Bear Lake. A little bit of fog here in the area, not too much. Some fog coming down from Sault Ste. Marie, especially south of the town, and then it cleared up once we got down here. A little fog, but really not affecting anything or anybody right now. So the Eagles will try to get something going here, trailing 28-0. Miller, shotgun. He'll hand it off to Hall, and Hall's going to be tackled maybe a yard, but not much, as looks like that was number 23, Austin Warner, along with Aiden Bickle on the tackle. We'll credit Cam Peterson with the play as well. So 2nd down and 10. Again, Hall really not able to get anything going. Credit Rudyard just getting to the ball carrier and not allowing them to get anything. 2:15 to play in this first quarter. 28-0 in favor of Rudyard. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 31-yard line. Now man in motion. Miller just going to keep that one and not get a whole lot there. It looks like Ian Brady was the first player on the tackle for Rudyard. No gain on the play, so that'll make it 3rd down and 10. So Engadine went 3 and out on their first 3 possessions and then fumbled on their last one, and in danger of going 3 and out here on this possession. Clock running, 1:35 to play in this first quarter. 3rd down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 31-yard line. 2 in the backfield for Engadine. Shotgun formation. Miller waiting to take the snap. Man in motion. Miller just going to run it up the middle again. Not a whole lot of creativity on offense by Engadine so far. We'll give Miller at least 1 yard on that one. And that's going to bring up another 4th down. And so looks like Miller's going to have to step back and punt yet again. Engadine just really, seems like they're only running about 2 or 3 plays so far tonight. So Miller set to punt at his own 25-yard line. And that one's going to be another high kick. He's doing a good job on the kicks, and that's going to bounce and stay at about the 26-yard line of Rudyard. But it's been all Bulldogs so far. We have 41 seconds left in this first quarter, and the Bulldogs lead by the score of 28-0. Next week, as I mentioned, we'll be in Pickford for our EUP Game of the Week on Country 105 as the Pickford Panthers will take on the Cedarville-DeTour Islanders. And before that game, they're going to dedicate the field to the late and great athletic director in Pickford, Chuck Bennon. They're going to have the field dedication next Friday night. Got postponed due to COVID-19 and Pickford having to cancel or forfeit one of their games. So certainly looking forward to that. Now Suggett will run it to the left side, get about 5 on the carry, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Rudyard has really made quick work of Engadine here in this first quarter as we have 23 seconds left. So this very well could be the last play here in this first quarter. We'll take a 1-minute break after this quarter, Tiffany, back in the studio, just for a heads up, as we have 10 seconds left. Now Suggett's going to pitch it to number 3, Aiden Bickle. He's going to get close to the 1st down marker. We'll see if he gets it. Might be about a yard short. Give him 4 on the carry, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. It is all Rudyard. They lead Engadine by the score of 28-0. You are listening to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Scott Nason back in Rudyard, Michigan. Our broadcast engineer back in the Country 105 studios is Tiffany Stratton. The Bulldogs have it at their own 36-yard line, 3rd down and 1 to start the second quarter, and it's been all Rudyard. They lead by the score of 28-0. Now a 1st down run by the Bulldogs, number 23, Austin Warner. As Rudyard moving the chains, we'll give Warner 6 on the carry. They'll bring up 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Recapping the scoring in that first quarter, a 38-yard touchdown pass from E.J. Suggett to Cam Peterson. Gave the Bulldogs, E.J. Suggett to Austin Warner gave the Bulldogs a 7-0 lead, and we'll talk more about their scoring plays in the first quarter after this play. 1st and 10 Bulldogs, as that's going to be a counter play. That's going to be Aiden Bickle, and Bickle might take that one to the house. He's getting past everyone, 1 man to beat, and that's going to be a 57-yard touchdown run by Aiden Bickle as the Bulldogs now lead by the score of 34-0. So 57-yard touchdown run. That's Bickle's 2nd touchdown run of the night, and that's his longest one, and Jacob Nolan now will attempt his 5th extra point. He's 4 for 4 in that department. We talked about running clock, and I would be shocked if we don't see that. Engadine has been struggling. They've been competitive in a lot of their games, but right now they're up against it. Good snap, good hold, good kick. I'll tell you what, this kid is absolutely automatic on the extra points. With 11:30 to play in the second quarter, 35-0, Rudyard leads. So that latest touchdown run has been fast and furious trying to keep up with the stats tonight. No color commentator or statistician. We'll get some halftime stats from our crew here in Rudyard. Our good friend Billy Mitchell filling in for the athletic director duties tonight. Always a challenging job, trust me. Score update from A.J. Van Sitter's Field after 1 quarter of play. Sioux High and Traverse City St. Francis tied 7-7. So the Blue Devils certainly giving the Gladiators a fight so far. Eagles having a hard time here tonight trying to get anything going as Rudyard Bulldogs already with 5 touchdowns. Recapping the scoring in the first quarter, I mentioned the 38-yard touchdown pass, Suggett to Warner. Extra point good, 7-0 Rudyard. Then a 53-yard touchdown run by Aiden Bickle. Extra point good, 14-0. A 24-yard touchdown run, E.J. Suggett. Extra point good, 21-0. And then at the end of the quarter, a 14-yard touchdown pass, E.J. Suggett to Cam Peterson. Extra point good, 28-0 after 1. And the latest scoring play for the Bulldogs, a 57-yard touchdown run by Aiden Bickle, his 2nd of the night. Now another good kick for Nolan. That one's going to bounce and be taken at the 10-yard line by Hall. And Hall's going to run it up the near sideline. He'll be ridden out of bounds by the Bulldogs player. I believe that might have been Bickle that did that. Nope, that's actually Peterson that made the tackle. So Engadine looking for their first down of the night, as they'll have the ball at their own 25-yard line. 11:25 to play in this second quarter. Bulldogs with a 35-0 lead. Major League Baseball playoffs. Tampa Bay leading Boston 5-2. That's still in the bottom of the first inning. Wow, take the over in that game. So here we go. Eagles with it. Shotgun formation, man in motion. Miller will take the run up the middle. We've seen that one a few times tonight. He'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. Houston over Chicago. The White Sox 9-4. The Astros lead that series 2-0. And Milwaukee in the top of the 9th inning, leading Atlanta 2-1. Later on tonight, the series I'm looking forward to, the Dodgers at the Giants. 2 teams with storied traditions, never met in the postseason. And the 2 best teams in baseball, I might add. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball still at their own 25-yard line. Another run up the gut. A couple yards on the carry. That was Miller again. That's going to bring up 3rd down. You kind of know what's coming from Engadine here. They've run that play several times tonight. See if they can mix up the play calling here and try to get their first down. They need to get something going here real fast, as this one pretty tough for them right now. They want to try to get at least some momentum going in this quarter. So 3rd down and 7 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 28-yard line. Miller in the shotgun. Going to hand it off to number 15, McKeague. And that's going to be a gain of about 2, but that's about it. And that's the first time we've mentioned his name. And so that's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down, it looks like a short 4. And we'll see if Engadine might as well go for it now. The way this Rudyard offense has gone, they're just scoring at will. And it looks like they're going to go for it. So 4th down and 4 for Engadine. Ball at their own 30-yard line. They need 4. Now Miller again, shotgun. It looks like Rudyard's bringing the house on this one. And I think we're going to have a timeout as the head coach for the Engadine Eagles, Vince Lavilli, didn't quite like what he saw there. He probably saw 7 of the 8 players about to try to get his quarterback, and so they called timeout with 9:23 to play in this second quarter. It's all Rudyard. They lead by the score of 35-0. Tune in to Coach's Corner every Saturday morning over on our sister station, 1230 WSO with Dave Watson. Live from Applebee's on the I-75 Business Spur in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Dave will have the scores that matter starting the show. We'll also be talking to Sioux High Athletic Director Steve Lockwood, along with Matt Parker, the head coach of the Lake Superior State University men's club hockey team. Dave will also have This Week in High School Sports, all on Coach's Corner on 1230 WSOO, 1230WSOO.com, or on the TuneIn app. So off the timeout, 4th down and 4 for Engadine. Ball at their own 30-yard line. The Eagles looking for their first down of the night. As Rudyard now yet to allow a first down, as I mentioned. Shotgun formation, 2 in the backfield. Now Miller just going to try to run that one up the gut. He's going to get a first down. He might get a whole lot more. Miller across the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, 5, and he'll cut it up the middle of the field for a touchdown. And how about that? A 70-yard touchdown run by Miller. And Engadine has life as they trail by the score of 35-6 with 9:11 to play in the second quarter. Well, Engadine has literally gotten nothing going offensively, but they certainly had a big play there. 70-yard touchdown run by Mateus Miller. And Engadine now will, looks like they'll take another timeout. Don't think they have a kicker, so we'll take a timeout with them. Keep it here with 9:11 to play here in this second quarter. We'll have Detroit Lions football over on our sister station, Oldies 93, Sunday morning at noon as the 0-4 Lions, the only winless team in the league other than Jacksonville, hope to right their sinking ship at Minnesota as they take on the Vikings. Again, you can hear that game over on our sister station, Oldies 93, starting at the pregame show at noon. The Lions last week losing at Chicago by 10. Certainly some curious play calling there by new head coach Dan Campbell, still waiting for some kneecaps to be bitten. Seems like the only thing that's bitten the Lions has been the injury bug this year, as they lost a couple players from that game. And we talked about it on the game Monday night over on ESPN 1400. Dan Campbell might be saying the right things, but right now his coaching, but still a lot of season to play, and, well, still the same old Lions in my opinion. So Engadine will go for the 2-point conversion now as they trail now 35-6. You would imagine Miller's just going to run that up the middle. Oh, he fakes the run, tried to find an open receiver, no good. So Engadine gets on the board with 9:11 to play in this second quarter. They got a long way to go, though. They trail Rudyard by the score of 35-6. Looking at the remaining schedule for both these teams, this is the final regular season home game for the Rudyard Bulldogs. They will be at Gaylord St. Mary this upcoming Friday night at 7 o'clock, and then will end their season at the Purple Palace in Pickford, taking on the Panthers in 2 weeks' time. We'll have that game right here on Country 105. Matt Pocket will be back for the broadcast of that one. Engadine, they have 2 games after this one. Their home finale next Friday night at home against Newberry, and then they will end the regular season and pretty much their season at Cedarville-DeTour in 2 weeks' time. As we're just a couple weeks away from playoffs. Last season, of course, every team made the playoffs. This year, a little different playoff format with the Michigan High School Athletic Association. No longer does 6 wins automatically get you in. We talked about it earlier with playoff points determining the participants, so there could very well be a handful of schools that get to the 6 wins plateau but don't make the playoffs. And you could have some 5, technically you could have some 4-win teams that do make the playoffs, especially if you schedule good teams and have those teams win. So Engadine on the board, but they trail by the score of 35-6. Now their kick will be a line drive kick, go off the hands of Bickle. He'll get it at about his own 5-yard line. Now Bickle will run up the middle of the field, try to cut to the far sideline. Bickle avoids a couple tackles, but he'll be taken down at about the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs. And so Rudyard has scored on every possession they've had, and they look to add to that lead with 9:02 to play in this second quarter. It's been all Rudyard. They lead at 35-6. So the Bulldogs 4-2, and as I mentioned earlier, right now, with the playoff points and rankings, they are just on the outside looking in. They're the 17th ranked team, or the 17th team with the points total. So a win here will certainly bump them back into the playoff picture. Now here's a handoff and a short gainer there by the Bulldogs. Looks like that was Austin Warner with the carry. As he'll get a couple on the play, bring up second down. That's Warner's second carry of the night. So it looks like he got about 4 on the play, so we'll give him 4 on that one. Second down and 6. Clock running, 8:30 to play in this second quarter. As the Bulldogs have done it in the air, and they've done it on the ground tonight. 2 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. Looks like they could go to the air here. 1 set out to the left, 1 to the right, 2 in the backfield. Sugg in the shotgun, dropping back. And that's going to be, I believe, a motion or something to that nature. False start by the Bulldogs, so that'll bring it back 5 yards. And that's going to make it second down and 11. So they'll bring the ball back 5 yards to the 24-yard line of the Bulldogs. But the way they've been moving this ball, you wouldn't think they're in too much danger here. So second down and 11. And you have Bestman set out to the right side. I believe that's Peterson to the left, 2 in the backfield. Now Suggen in the shotgun. He'll drop back, throw it to the middle of the field. Oh, that could have been easily intercepted there. Not a good pass by Suggen. As it was Connor Hall there that broke up that pass, but could have been a lot worse for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up third down. So that's Sugget's first incompletion of the night. Unofficially has 84 yards passing and those 2 touchdowns. We'll get our official stats at halftime. Third down and 11 for the Bulldogs. Ball at their own 24-yard line. Now tight formation. Sugget in the shotgun. Sugget now is going to keep it, and he's going to get good yardage there. He leaps over a player. He's not going to get the first down, but he's going to get a gain of about 6 on the play, maybe 7. We'll give him 7 on the carry, so that's going to bring up fourth down and about 3. And you would think Rudyard would go for it here the way they've moved the ball, and it looks like they will. So now Sugget behind center. They're going to direct snap it to Peterson. Peterson's going to spin move. Nice job by him. Cam Peterson gets the first down and more as he bowls ahead across the 50-yard line. A gain of about 20 by Peterson. It looked like Engadine had a chance to stop Peterson right at the first down marker, but Peterson does a nice spin move and then just uses that big frame of his to get about 10 extra yards. And so the Bulldogs in business again as they have the ball at the Eagles' 49-yard line with 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. And Rudyard leads 35-6. I formation for the Bulldogs. Sugget under center. Now he'll hand it off, and Bickle will get about 5 yards, maybe more, as the pile kind of gave him a couple extra yards there. We'll give Bickle 7 on the carry. That's going to bring up second down and short. Big bench tonight for the Bulldogs, as they could field about 2.5 teams with this bench. I think my math was good on that one. Yeah, about 2.5 teams. So second down and 2. 2 in the backfield for the Bulldogs. Sugget in the shotgun. Now Sugget will hand it off to Besteman. Rather check that I believe is Warner, and Warner could take that one to the house. Warner gets across the goal line. Did he step out of bounds? No. Touchdown for the Rudyard Bulldogs, Austin Warner, as that was a 42-yard touchdown run. And the Bulldogs scored on every possession. They lead by the score of 41-6. A 40-yard touchdown run, Warner. And now Jacob Nolan will go for his sixth extra point. Good snap, good kick. Boy, he is as automatic as they come in high school football. Jacob Nolan now with 6 extra points. He was 19 of 22 on extra points going into this contest. And let me try to do the math on that one. He's now 25 of 28. And it's 42-6 in favor of the Rudyard Bulldogs with 6:05 to play in this second quarter. Mentioned Lake Superior State hockey going on right now at Yost Arena as the Lakers taking on the University of Michigan Wolverines. And we'll try to get a scoreboard update on that one. Right now, no score. Actually, the game just about to start down at Yost Arena. Laker volleyball also in action tonight. They are at home to Wisconsin Parkside. And, well, that looks like that one hasn't started too, which is odd because the start time was supposed to be 6:30. We'll have to check on that one. I guess we're not going to get any scores from Lake State tonight. Appears their live stats site not working so well. Must be that kind of night. Some technical gremlins around the area, apparently. So Nolan set to kick. Again, another good line drive kick. That's going to bounce at the 10-yard line, goes off the Engadine player, and he'll take it and be tackled at about the 20-yard line of the Eagles. Tate Bestman in on the tackle. So Engadine, who scored on their last possession, will look to do it again here with 6 minutes to play in this second quarter. It is all Rudyard. They lead by the score of 42-6. Coming up at halftime, we'll recap the scoring plays. We'll tally the stats, try to get some out-of-town scoreboard updates, as it's a busy night at our radio stations. 4 games going on simultaneously. If the Eagles were in action at the Puller, we'd have 5, and I wouldn't be here. So Miller set to take the snap. Now he'll keep it again, run it up the middle, and might have gotten a yard on that play. Looked like he lost his own footing as Bestman was in on the tackle. Moses also in on the tackle for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up second down, about 9. So Miller now with 11 carries on the night. The running backs just with 6. Same formation for the Eagles. Miller in the shotgun, second down and 9. Now Miller is going to run that one again. It worked once, that 70-yard touchdown. We'll give Miller 1 on the carry, bring it 3rd and 8. Clock running, 5:10 to play here in this second quarter. So we'll see if Engadine will mix it up in the play calling, as Miller has run that one pretty much 12 times, except for the 70-yard touchdown. His longest gain has been 3. So 3rd down and 8, ball at the 22-yard line of the Eagles. Now Miller's going to run to the far sideline, and he'll be tripped up. He'll get a couple. That's going to bring up 4th down. Looks like Cam Peterson took Miller out of bounds. We'll give Miller 2 on the carry. That's going to bring up 4th down. They went for it on their last possession and were rewarded with a 70-yard touchdown, but they're a little deeper in their own territory. And it looks like they're going to kick this one, as Aiden Bickle now will run across the 50-yard line. Actually, he'll stay just inside the 50-yard line. High snap. Bulldogs could block it. That's a high kick and a short one. And that's going to take a good bounce for Engadine, but it didn't go very far, as that one will be down at the 35-yard line, so about maybe a 15-yard punt. Looked like that one could have been blocked by the Bulldogs, but they'll take the result, as they'll have the ball with 3:57 to play in this second quarter. They've scored on every possession, they being the Rudyard Bulldogs, and they lead right now 42-6. So we are getting into the running clock realm here very shortly, as now the Bulldogs with 3 wide receivers, man in motion now, and that's going to be, I think, a legal motion or something to that nature. Yep. So that's the second time that's happened tonight for the Bulldogs. That'll bring it 5 yards back. But the way the Bulldogs have moved the football, if you're Coach Jim Suggett, you're probably not happy with that, but not the worst thing in the world as well. .340 to play in this second quarter. First down and 15. Ball at the Bulldogs' 40-yard line. Suggett in the shotgun, 2 in the backfield. Now Suggett's going to run that one up the middle and get maybe a couple. I believe that was number 15 person McKeegan on the tackle. We'll give Suggett 2 yards. That'll make it second down and looks like 13. 3:10 to play in this second quarter. We'll try to get some score updates from all the games that we were mentioning here on our family of stations. At halftime coming up, we'll take a 4-minute break. So second down and 13, Suggett. Low snap, drops back. He's going to launch that one downfield. Besteman will catch it with good coverage. And Tate Besteman going for that touchdown, and he gets it. Tate Besteman, a 38-yard touchdown reception. And boy, oh boy, this one is turning into an absolute rout. Certainly could use a stats guy today because it is hard to keep up with all this scoring. That the third touchdown pass by E.J. Suggett. Nice play by Besteman, as that was pretty good coverage by the Eagles, but Besteman with that height advantage grabbed it. Not only grabbed it, but took it in for the touchdown. Good snap, good kick. I'll tell you what, this is how you do special teams after a touchdown, as that's Jacob Nolan's 7th extra point with 2:40 to play in this second quarter. 49-6 Rudyard. Wow. So that latest touchdown, honestly can't keep up here, to be quite honest. I think I gave Besteman a 38-yard touchdown run. That is incorrect. It's a 38-yard touchdown pass to Besteman. Third touchdown pass, as I mentioned, for E.J. Suggett. We saw 4 touchdown passes by Jake Davey last week in the game at Grayling, and well, Suggett could do that again. The Bulldogs with a 49-6 lead, so that's a 43-point lead. And if that holds into the halftime, we're going to have the running clock probably the entire second half, so it could be a very, very quick second half here in Rudyard. Bulldogs a perfect 7-for-7 so far tonight on their offensive drives. And so Jacob Nolan set to kick off, and talked about it on the Sioux High broadcast, just having a kicker that can kick extra points, and basically when you get a touchdown, you get 7 points. That's good to have. Now the Eagles will take it their own 20-yard line, and that's going to be Ian Brady on the tackle for the Bulldogs. And so Engadine looking to get something going here, trailing 49-6 with 2:35 to play in this second quarter. Last update we had at A.J. Van Sitter's Field, well, now it's 21-7 St. Francis over the Sioux High Blue Devils at halftime. As the Blue Devils looking for a big win tonight. They got a lot of work to do if they're going to get it. Now the Eagles will get a decent gain there, gain of about 3, as that was number 15, if I'm not mistaken, Pearson McKeague. Again, some of those numbers kind of hard to tell for Engadine. Most of the players have the green numbers, but some have those yellow ones, and kind of tough to pick up. So I'll make it second down and 7. Ball at the Engadine 28-yard line. Minute 30 left in this second quarter. Now man in motion. It'll be a counter play, and not much there. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. That was McKeague again. They'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Bulldogs still have their timeouts. So if they stop them here, we'll see if they use them. Being up 49-6. Don't know if you would do that if you're a coach. Some coaches would. Some tells me Coach Jim Suggett would not. We'll see. Clock running, 55 seconds left. 3rd down and 7 for the Eagles at their own 28-yard line. Miller under center. Shotgun, he's just going to run that one up the middle and maybe get a couple on the carry. That's going to bring up 4th down. And we'll see if Engadine just runs out the clock here. Yeah, they've only attempted 1 pass tonight with 30 seconds left. You are listening to the EUP Game of the Week on WMKD Pickford, Sault Ste. Marie. My name is Scott Nason. Our broadcast engineer back in the Country 105 studios is Tiffany Stratton. We have 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Rudyard leads Engadine by the score of 49-6, and it looks like the Eagles are just going to let this clock run out, and we will see the running clock to start the second half as we have reached halftime here in Rudyard. Again, our score, Rudyard, 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. They lead Engadine by the score of 49-6. We're going to take a 4-minute break. We come back. We'll tally up the stats and recap the scoring plays. You are listening to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. And welcome back to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Scott Nason filling in for Matt Pocket on this Friday night as we have the flag football players on the field here in Rudyard with the varsity and junior varsity football players. Great to see here. The kids having an absolute blast out here. The public address announcer in the studio also announcing the plays. That's just a great touch here. I haven't seen them do that here in Rudyard, and I love it. I think that's a great way to get the kids involved, and certainly the kids, the fans, and the players here at home for the Rudyard Bulldogs, very happy with how things are going right now as the Rudyard Bulldogs scored on all 7 possessions in that first half, and they lead the Engadine Eagles by the score of 49-6. Recapping the scoring in the first half, the Bulldogs got on the board first at the 9:32 mark of the first quarter. A 38-yard touchdown reception by Austin Warner on the pass from E.J. Suggett. Extra point good by Jacob Nolan. The Bulldogs led by the score of 7-0. Bulldogs will get another touchdown about 3 minutes later at the 6:10 mark of the first quarter. Aiden Bickle, a 33-yard touchdown run. Extra point good by Nolan. At that point, it was 14-0 in favor of Rudyard. Bulldogs would score another touchdown a little over 2 minutes later at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. E.J. Suggett, his second touchdown on the night, his first on the ground. A 24-yard touchdown run, extra point good by Nolan, and it was 21-0 Rudyard. Bulldogs would score one more touchdown in that first quarter. Cam Peterson, a 14-yard touchdown reception from E.J. Suggett. Extra point good by Nolan, and after 1 quarter of play, it was 28-0 Rudyard. Rudyard would score 30 seconds into the second quarter. Aiden Bickle, his second touchdown run of the night. This one a 57-yard scamper. Extra point good by Nolan, and Rudyard led by the score of 35-0. Engadine would get on the board their first and only first down in that first half as they went for it on a 4th down, and it was a 70-yard touchdown run by Mateus Miller. They went for 2 points and didn't convert, and so at that point it was 35-6 in favor of Rudyard. Rudyard would score 2 more touchdowns in the second quarter. Austin Warner, a 42-yard touchdown run with at the 6:05 mark of the second quarter. Extra point good. The Bulldogs led by the score of 42-6. And then the final touchdown in the quarter, Tate Besteman, a 38-yard touchdown reception from E.J. Suggett. Extra point good by Nolan. And our score at halftime, again, Rudyard leads Engadine by the score of 49-6. Looking at the offensive stats in this one, well, E.J. Suggett certainly had a very good first I should say not first quarter, but first half, as E.J. Suggett 4 for 5 passing with 119 yards and 3 touchdowns. Receiving for the Bulldogs, Cam Peterson, 2 receptions, 43 yards and a touchdown. Tate Besteman, 38 yards on 1 reception and a touchdown. Austin Warner, 38 yards on 1 reception and a touchdown. And leading the way rushing for the Bulldogs, Aiden Bickle. He has 4 carries, 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. E.J. Suggett, 4 rushes for 30 yards and a touchdown. Cam Peterson, 3 carries, 39 yards. Austin Warner, 3 carries, 54 yards and a touchdown. And finally, Tate Besteman, 1 carry for 5 yards. For the Engadine Eagles, their quarterback, number 18, Mateus Miller, he's been the busiest of their offensive players. 14 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown. And that's about it for the offensive stats for Engadine. Pearson McKeague has 4 carries for 8 yards. And number 22, Connor Hall, has 4 carries for -3 yards. There was 1 turnover in that first half by Engadine, and it's been all Rudyard. Not that much of a surprise. I thought Engadine might be a little more game, but they're a little short-handed tonight. They only brought 11 players, and just too much Rudyard. They're playing like they're mad, and they're not overlooking this Engadine team. And that's as good of offensive performance in the first half as I have seen in some time. And so, again, our score at halftime, 49-6 in favor of the Rudyard Bulldogs. Just one score that I could find here at halftime, Traverse City St. Francis leading Sioux High by the score of 21-7 at the A.J. Van Sitters Field. Have not been able to get a score update from Laker Athletics. It looks like their live stat page might not be working tonight. Sioux Greyhounds also in action tonight over on Rock 101 as the Greyhounds taking on the North Bay Battalion. I think we can get a score from that one. As right now, with 15 minutes left in the second period, North Bay and the Greyhounds are tied at 1. You can hear that game over on our sister station, Rock 101, with Jerry Liscombe Jr. Sioux Eagles also in action tonight as they are playing all their games on the road, taking on the Sioux Thunderbirds. That one, I believe, just started at the John Rhodes Community Center, and no score reported as of yet. Laker volleyball also in action tonight at home, taking on Wisconsin Parkside. Again, trying to find some scores here, unable to do so. Well, we know Major League Baseball scores. Tampa Bay is leading Boston 5-3 in Game 2 of their American League Division Series. The Rays lead that series 1-0. In the National League, we have 2 finals. Houston over Chicago 9-4. The Astros lead that series 2-0, and Milwaukee hangs on and defeats Atlanta by the score of 2-1. The Brewers lead that series by the count of 1-0. And coming up later tonight, the LA Dodgers at the San Francisco Giants. We're going to take our final break here in our halftime show. We come back. We'll have the start of the second half here in Rudyard. It's going to be a running clock and probably a very quick second half as our score once again, Rudyard leads Engadine by the score of 49-6. You are listening to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. And welcome back to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Scott Nason filling in for Matt Pocket on this Friday night. Our broadcast engineer back in the Country 105 studios is Tiffany Stratton, doing a great job tonight as we have about 5 minutes left in our halftime break, and it has been all Rudyard as they lead by the score of 49-6 over Engadine. We were able to get some scores over the break. The Lake Superior State University Lakers down at Yost Arena tonight taking on the Michigan Wolverines, and after one period of play, it is all Michigan as they lead the Lakers by the score of 3-0. You can hear that game over on our sister station, today's Hits 99.5 Yes FM with Matt Pocket and Bill Crawford. Sioux Greyhounds also starting their season. First game in a long time for the Greyhounds in the Ontario Hockey League, at least a regular season game, as they are locked in a 1-1 tie with the North Bay Battalion. That one about halfway through the second period. Also have the Sioux Eagles in action tonight as they are at the John Rhodes Community Center taking on the Sioux Thunderbirds. We don't have a score to report as of yet from that one. Over at the A.J. Van Sitters Field at halftime, the Sioux High Blue Devils trailing Traverse City St. Francis by the score of 21-7. You can hear that game over on our sister station, 1230 WSO, with Dave Watson and Ryan Woolen. Coming up next week, we'll have our EUP Game of the Week in Pickford at the Purple Palace in Pickford, as the Pickford Panthers, who are taking on Newberry tonight, yet to get a score update on that one. They will take on the Cedarville-DeTour Islanders. I'll be filling in for Matt Pocket again next Friday night. We'll have the pregame show around 6:45 here on Country 105. And going on before that game, I believe the event starts at 6 o'clock. They're going to be doing a field dedication for the former athletic director, the late and great, as I like to call him, Chuck Bennon. I had the good fortune of doing several broadcasts with Chuck over the years for our EUP Game of the Week, and he was one of the real driving forces to get the EUP Game of the Week right here on Country 105. I remember the story when he was doing sales for the game and went to the general manager of the previous ownership of this station and said, you guys should put high school games for the smaller schools back on your radio. And, the general manager at the time said, well, okay, Chuck, see what you can do with ads. And I believe that first season he got over 30 advertisers. He said, here you go. And we've been going ever since right here on Country 105 for the EUP Game of the Week. So they're going to do the field dedication ceremony next Friday night in Pickford. We won't call it the Purple Palace anymore. We'll call it the Chuck Bennon Field or however they decide to name it. And a very good touch by the Pickford administration, football staff, and others to recognize Chuck Bennon for everything that he did, not just as an athletic director, but he was a pretty darn good athlete as well, especially high school basketball, leading Pickford to the finals at, I believe, not the Breslin Center, but the Jennison Fieldhouse back in the day. Pickford wouldn't win that game, but they made their first and only state final in that one. So, again, that'll be next Friday night as Pickford will be hosting the Cedarville-DeTour Islanders. Tune in Monday nights over on our sister station ESPN 1400 to the Twin Sault's only local, regional, and national sports show, The Game. Yours truly hosts that show every Monday night along with co-host David McKeag Jr., Butch Davis from Butch on Sports in Metro Detroit. We talk about local sports during the first half of the show, and then we transition to regional and national sports. 2 hours of sports content over on ESPN 1400, The Game, Monday night starting at 6. And if you want to hear podcasts of that show along with our broadcast tonight here on the EUP Game of the Week, Sioux High Blue Devil Athletics, and all sorts of sports content from not only Sioux, Michigan, but Sioux, Ontario. You can find it on our website, thegamesportshow.podbean.com. You can also go to thegamesportshow.com. You can go to that site, download the broadcast, keep it for the archives. We also put Sioux High Blue Devil Athletics on there as well. Again, go to thegamesportshow.podbean.com. Sioux Indians on the road this weekend as they are in Chicago to take on the Lake Forest Academy, as the Indians this past weekend had a split against CompuWare. And we always like to talk about Sioux Indians hockey, midget AAA hockey. They've been playing for a while, and they're down in Illinois here tonight. Detroit Red Wings hockey finishing up their exhibition season. They will have their home opener on Thursday, where they will take on the defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning. So we'll have Red Wings hockey all season long over on our sister station, 1230 WSO, with Ken Cal and Paul Woods. And the Detroit Pistons, also, just starting their exhibition season. We will have Detroit Pistons basketball once the regular season begins over on ESPN 1400. And our first broadcast will be on Wednesday, October 20th from Little Caesars Arena, as the young and very new look Detroit Pistons will be taking on the Chicago Bulls. So we're just about set to resume action here in Rudyard. Rudyard Bulldogs with a 49-6 lead over the Engadine Eagles, And the Bulldogs will get the ball first, and we'll have the running clock going here in this second half. And so thanks to our good friends here in the press box, we don't have to keep the Rudyard stats. We'll get those after the game, making our life a little easier here in the press box. So the Eagles set to kick from their own 40-yard line. As number 3, Aiden Bickle set to return. He has 2 touchdowns tonight. Suggett with 3 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground, 4 total touchdowns. Now Bickle has trouble with the ball as he'll run to the near sideline, cut it up the middle. Bickle will get across the 40 to the 50 to the 40. Still going. He'll be finally taken down at about the 36-yard line of the Bulldogs. Looks like that was Hunter Cameron that rode Bickle out of bounds. And so clock running. This will be a very fast second half as the Bulldogs yet to be stopped offensively. And we'll see if we get some different players out there. We do have a lot of different players out there right now. We'll see who takes the snaps as Suggett on the bench along with several of the starters. And so here we go. We have a new quarterback for the Bulldogs. Looks like number 14, Damon McDowell, thank you. Now, bad snap. That's going to be down. No, it's still loose, and Engadine's going to come up with that one. As Engadine will get an early turnover here to start the second half, as that was picked up by number 15, Pearson McKeague. And so Engadine now with a little life. Oh, it's going to be a long climb back as they trail by the score of 49-6 with 10:45 and running here in this third quarter. Billy, who was 14 again? Thank you. So number 14, Damon McDowell, didn't have a whole lot of chance on that one as the ball was snapped low, and now it's going to be a run. Pack of Bulldogs in on the tackle. As that was number 15, Pearson McKeague with the carry. It's going to be a loss. Now, looks like they got to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be second down. 10 minutes left in this third quarter. Rudyard with a 49-6 lead. Bulldogs hang on to this one. They'll improve to 5-2 on the season, while Engadine, they end up losing. They'll be 0-7. So now Miller, shotgun formation, man in motion. Miller's going to keep it and still going. Might have gotten a yard on the carry as he was taken down by Tate Besteman, so that'll bring up third down. We'll give Miller 1 yard on the carry. That's his 15th run. He now has 90 yards. So third down and 9 for Engadine. Ball at their own 46-yard line. Miller likes to take that snap and run it up the middle. He's going to do that again. Big frame, and he's going to do it and more as he'll get the first down. That's Engadine's second first down of the night, and he'll get it to the 32-yard line, so a gain of 14 by Miller. And we have a flag on the play, so hold on. That's going to be a holding call, so negate that run and negate the first down. So Engadine with just 1 first down tonight, they're going to have to go a long ways to get their second. As that'll bring the ball back to the 43-yard line of Engadine. That's going to make it third and about 15. Clock running, 9 minutes left in this third quarter. Good crowd here in Rudyard. Have several on the bleachers and many standing along the sidelines on the far side. Engadine bringing a few fans of their own as well. So third down and 15 for Engadine. Now a pitch to the near side. And a decent run there as that's number 22, Connor Hall. Get about 7 on the carry, so that's his first carry for positive yards. Just his 5th on the night. So that's going to bring up fourth down and 12. Or rather, check that, fourth down and 7. Ball just inside the 50-yard line. So Engadine will go for it, as you would expect, down 49-6. And we'll see if Miller keeps it on the snap. That's now the Engadine coaching staff barking out the orders. 4th down and 7 for Engadine, and Miller will keep it and not going to get it. He got about 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry, but that's it. And so the Bulldogs will take over on downs. With 7:40 to play in this third quarter, they lead Engadine at 49-6. So Rudyard was stopped for the first time on their last possession on the fumble. As you have several different players out there for the Bulldogs, as the starters now on the sideline enjoying the action. It's number 14, Damon McDowell. The shotgun formation, 2 in the backfield. Now McDowell will hand it off to number 19, Landon Mayer. Mayer got back to the original line of scrimmage, bring up 2nd down and 10. So looking at some of these players out there for the Rudyard Bulldogs. You have number 60, Aiden Galladay. Also have number 28, Callan Lawler. And several others. We'll get the other names here in a moment. 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball at the Engadine 48-yard line, or rather their own 46-yard line. Now tight formation. Another bad low snap. That's going to be a sack by the Engadine player. That's number 15, Pearson McKeague. The second low snap that McDowell has had to try to handle. He did handle it, but he gets sacked. That's going to be about a 4-yard loss. Bring up 3rd down and we'll call it 3rd down and 13. Halfway through this third quarter, Rudyard well on their way to their 5th victory of the season, getting them back in the playoff picture, but they have a couple tough games coming up at Gaylord St. Mary and at Pickford in 2 weeks' time. So 3rd down and 13, 2 in the backfield for the Bulldogs. McDowell will roll out. That pass is going to be deflected by number 18, Mateus Miller. And so Rudyard not moving the ball in this second half as of yet, and they'll punt it away. So if you're Engadine, you want to try to win the half. You're not going to win this game, but you want to have some positive vibes coming out of this one heading into next week's game. So now looks like Cam Peterson set to punt for the Bulldogs. Good snap and a pretty good kick, as that's going to bounce and be taken by the Engadine player. I don't know about that one, but it worked out for the Eagles. That was number 22, Connor Hall. I thought he was going to let that one roll as he gets taken out of bounds just outside the 20-yard line of the Eagles, so they'll take over from there. With under 5 minutes to play in this third quarter, Rudyard maintains their 49-6 lead. Lake State Hockey trailing Michigan 3-0 early second period down at Yost Arena. That Michigan team, watch out for them in college hockey. They got 4 of the top 5 draft picks from this last draft, and they are a juggernaut this season. So Engadine now with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. As Miller will keep it, he'll run to the right side. It's still going. Miller got across the 1st down line and more. He gets about 12 yards on the carry. Looked like Rudyard had him dead to rights, but Miller with that big frame just kept bowling ahead. And so that's the second 1st down for the Eagles. As that ball will be at the Engadine 34-yard line. As clock again, running clock here in the second half. Under 4 minutes to play. And Engadine with the ball. So 1st and 10, Eagles. Miller's gotten the bulk of the carries for Engadine. That was his 17th carry. Now they'll hand it off, run the counter play. A couple-yard gainer there by the Engadine player. Number 15, Pearson McKeague. Tackled by Landon Mayer for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 8. Ball at the Engadine 37-yard line. Clock running, 3:10 to play in this third quarter. Coming up next week, we'll be in Pickford as the Pickford Panthers will take on the Cedarville-DeTour Islanders. Pickford in action tonight at Newberry. We'll try to get a score update during our post-game show to hear how that one went. Now Miller will run it up the middle, get maybe a couple yards as there are about 4 Bulldogs in on the tackle, including number 19, Landon Mayer. A pack of Bulldogs, as they say here in the press box. I like that. And we got number 65 coming out for the Rudyard Bulldogs, John Code, or as he's known in these parts, Big John. Certainly would not want to run up against him. So third down for Engadine. Ball just inside their own 40-yard line, so about 3rd and 5. Clock running, 2:20 to play here in this third quarter. Engadine playing a much better third quarter than they did first and second. So here we go, 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles. Miller in the shotgun formation. 2 in the backfield, 1 to each side. He likes to keep it in this case, and he will. And Miller will get a couple on the carry. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 3. So 4th down and 3 for Engadine. Ball at their own 42-yard line. This running clock, the only time it stops will be on timeouts or a scoring play. And, of course, at the end of the third quarter. 4th down and 3 for Engadine. Same formation. We'll see if Miller keeps this one again and runs up the middle. He likes to do that a lot here tonight. And he'll do just that. And he'll get out of the tackle, but he will be tackled for a loss. Cam Peterson in on the tackle. So a loss of 1 for Miller and a change of possession as Rudyard will get the ball back with 1 minute left in this third quarter as Big John gets a big applause from this Rudyard crowd, his first action of the season. So this is the Bulldogs' third possession here in this third quarter. You have to score and you have to get a first down, but they're going to win this game. They lead 49-6. This will likely be the final play of the third quarter. As Damon McDowell again behind center, 2 in the backfield, 1 to each side. Shotgun formation. Now McDowell, they'll run the counter play, and that's going to be tackled for a big loss there. That was number 28, Callan Lawler, with the carry, and that was Nicholas N. on the tackle. As the clock running with 10 seconds left in this third quarter, clock's going to expire. Our score after 3 quarters of play, Rudyard leads Engadine by the score of 49-6. You are listening to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. And welcome back to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Scott Nason here in Rudyard, Michigan after 3 quarters of play. No scoring in that third quarter, and the Rudyard Bulldogs lead Engadine by the score of 49-6. The Bulldogs have it 2nd and 10, ball at the 50-yard line. Now McDowell drops back, and that'll be an incomplete pass and a flag on the play. Might have been a late hit on the quarterback there, as the intended receiver for the Bulldogs, number 27. And we're seeing a lot of the JV players up, so some of these names I don't have, or I might have the incorrect names, as some JV and varsity players have the same number, including number 28. It was actually Aiden Pavlot, not Callan Lawler, who I don't believe even played tonight. That will give Rudyard 2nd down and 12, ball at the 45-yard line of the Eagles. And we have the running clock situation here in this one. We've had it the entire second half. So we're going to get out of here rather quickly tonight. So 2nd down and 12 for Rudyard. Ball at the 45-yard line. I formation. Thought there might have been movement there or something. Now a fumble on the play, and Engadine's going to come up with that one on the quarterback sack. Looks like number 20, Cole Miller, will take it for Engadine. So the second fumble here in this second half. And again, a lot of these players, not a whole lot of varsity experience. And so Engadine will take over at the Bulldogs' 47-yard line with 11 minutes left in this fourth quarter. They trail Rudyard 49-6. At last check at A.J. Van Sitter's Field, Sioux High trailing Traverse City St. Francis 21-7. We're trying to get a score from the Pickford-Newberry game here in the press box. Note to announcers, say the score. Now we have a flag on the play as that's going to be a completed pass. We'll see if this one stands, as that's going to go to number 88, Hunter Cameron. If it stands, it's a 47-yard touchdown pass, but I don't think it will stand, as there was a legal shift there on the line. There's a lot of movement again, and so that's going to negate a big play for Engadine, and we'll have to do it all again. So it looked like Engadine had a touchdown pass, but you kind of knew where the flag was thrown, and all the movement that happened, that one was going against the Eagles, and it does. There we go. Now we do the running clock there. Oh, yeah, it was a scoring play, so that would make sense why the clock would stop. So that's going to bring up first down and about 15 now for the Eagles. Ball at their own 47-yard line. Miller under center for the Eagles. Two in the backfield. Now man in motion. Miller's going to roll to the right. He'll keep it. He'll get a decent gain here as he'll get all the way down into Bulldogs territory. As that ball will be spotted. Looks like at about he must have went out of bounds a little earlier than I thought. We'll give him about 6 on the carry. That'll bring up second down. Second down and 9. Clock running, 9:30 to play here in this fourth quarter. It's been all Rudyard. They scored touchdowns on their first 7 possessions. As now playing a lot of the backups and JV players. Now a couple fake handoffs and a pass. Oh, that could have been real good for Engadine as Hunter Cameron found himself open. Nice little play there by the Eagles. As I thought that might have fooled the Bulldogs, but they couldn't complete the pass. That'll bring up third down. Third down and 9 for Engadine. 9 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Coming up in our post-game show, we'll recap the scoring, look at the stats, try to get some scores from around the area, and get the heck out of here. That's the way this one's going. 2014 Newberry. Thank you to Billy Mitchell here, filling in for Athletic Director John Krentz, who is not here tonight. So Newberry, they are for real, and Engadine might have a touchdown run, but Cam Peterson will run down the Engadine player as he gets across the 25-yard line. But again, a flag on the play, and that's going to be a hold. So Engadine with 2 big plays here on this possession, both negated by the penalties. So Newberry and Pickford locked in a battle, and Newberry has the ball up 6. We'll hopefully get if not a final score, a close to final score here before we get out of here. This one obviously moving a little quicker than that game. So that'll bring the ball back inside Engadine territory at their own 49-yard line, bring up third down and 14. Clock running, 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Now Miller under center for the Eagles. 2 in the backfield, 1 to each side. Now a couple fake handoffs. Miller will overthrow his intended receiver, Hunter Cameron. Good coverage by the Bulldogs, and that'll bring up fourth down. So if Rudyard gets this ball back, they haven't been able to move the ball here in the second half. They could probably run out the clock. So it'll be fourth down and 14 for the Eagles. 7:20 left here in this fourth quarter. Rudyard with a 49-6 lead. So the Bulldogs will improve to 5-2. Improve their playoff chances, as they will likely be in if the playoffs start after this week's games. And have 2 big games on the road coming up. So fourth down and 14 for Engadine. Same play, couple fake handoffs. Had the man open, but he's going to be sacked. And so Rudyard will get the ball. We'll see who got the sack for the Bulldogs. And that will be... Rudyard will get the sack, and they will get the ball with 6:40 to play in this fourth quarter. No scoring in the second half, but a lot of scoring in the first half, and most of that was done by the Bulldogs. So Rudyard will take over at the Engadine 42-yard line. A couple first downs, and this one will be over. I believe that's still Damon McDowell, the quarterback for the Bulldogs. He'll hand it off, and that's going to be a tackle for a loss. Fumble again, I think, although I think Rudyard might have gotten that ball. But no, Engadine gets the ball. Or do they? I thought one official signal, yeah, that's going to be another fumble for the Bulldogs. So that's their third fumble here in the second half. That was number 28, Aiden Pavlot, who got tackled and then lost the ball. So Engadine's still fighting out there. I believe Cole Miller might have come up with the ball for Engadine. So we'll see if the Eagles can win the half. If they score here, they more than likely will win the half, but they're not going to win this game. Now they are going to hand it off. That's going to go to number 22, Connor Hall. He'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. As that was number 41 for the Bulldogs, and we don't have that number as well. A lot of players pulled up from the JV team, getting some varsity experience. Certainly good for those kids out there. So second down and 11. Ball at the Eagles' 42-yard line. Shotgun formation. Miller will hand it off, run the counter play. That's going to be not much there. It might have been a 1-yard loss.
Taken down by Eli Sprague.
As Eli Sprague will get the tackle. 28-14 Newberry over Pickford. I've been talking about this Newberry team all season long. Watch out for the Indians, and they are in good position to get the win. And certainly Pickford, their playoff chances aren't in doubt, but certainly they could play downstate the way the geography works, especially if Rudyard makes the playoffs, because you'd have 4 teams in the UP. Newberry very well could host a couple games in the playoffs, especially with the win tonight, because rest of their schedule not very challenging. Now Miller's going to keep it. He could go all the way. Miller across the 30 might be run down, but he won't be, as Miller's going to get across the goal line for a touchdown. And that's going to be a long run for the Eagles. It's going to be a 58-yard touchdown run by Miller. And so Engadine still fighting out there. You got to give them a lot of credit for that, as that's going to be Miller's second touchdown. He had a 70-yard touchdown scamper in the first half, and that one a 58-yard touchdown run. And so Engadine could very well win the half. With 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter, they trail Rudyard 49-12. Nice run by Miller. So Engadine now will get their two-point conversion play set up. No, they're going to try to kick it here. It looks like number 88, Hunter Cameron, with the extra point attempt. Kick, snap a little low. Kick is up and good, but there's a flag on the play. Rudyard player maybe jumped offside on that one. No, we're going to have a false start on Engadine, and they were running to the bench thinking, wait, we converted an extra point. Now we'll see if they try it again. It's going to have to be 5 yards back. After 3 quarters of play at the A.J. Van Sitters Field, Traverse City St. Francis leading Sioux High 35-14. So the Blue Devils look like they're going to drop to 4-3, and that really makes the math tough for Sioux High, as they're going to have to win their last 2 games and hope. And so now Cameron with a longer extra point try. Kick is up, but he might have gotten it. No, it just goes wide. So 4 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. Engadine with their second touchdown of the night, but Rudyard's going to win this game. They lead by the score of 49-12. Tune in to Coach's Corner tomorrow morning over on our sister station 1230 WSOL with Dave Watson. Live from Applebee's on the I-75 Business Spur in Sioux, Michigan. Dave will have the scores that matter at 11:05, along with special guests, Sioux High Athletic Director Steve Lockwood, along with Matt Parker, head coach of the Lake Superior State University Lakers club hockey team. We'll also have This Week in High School Sports, all on Coach's Corner on 1230 WSOO, 1230WSOO.com, or the TuneIn app. Speaking of Lake State, they are in action tonight at Yost Arena, taking on a very good University of Michigan team. And Michigan is putting a whooping on the Lakers. Still 17 minutes left in the second period. Lakers trail 5-0. Newberry up on Pickford, as I mentioned, 28-14. That one in the second half, as Newberry looking to improve to 6-1 on the season. Now we're going to have an onside kick attempt, and they might have gotten it. It went off a Rudyard player's hands. We'll see. And no, Rudyard will get the ball, and they will likely run out the clock here as the clock's running with 3:50 left here in this fourth quarter. Coming up after the fourth quarter, we'll take a 3-minute break and recap the scoring, look at some of the stats in this game, and preview our next EUP game of the week in Pickford next Friday night. So the Bulldogs now haven't done a whole lot here in this second half. Getting a lot of the starters not playing. But they'll take the result. Big win for the Bulldogs. They'll improve to 5-2 on the season. Engadine will drop to 0-7. And Rudyard will be at Gaylord St. Mary next Friday night. Big matchup there. So first down and 10 for Rudyard. Ball at their own 49-yard line. That's going to be a pitch over to the far side of the field, and another loss on the play. Like a rugby scrum out there. Might have actually gotten back to the original line of scrimmage there. So some of the students here tonight, the Rudyard Band in attendance. Always good to see the band. Closest I got to the football field was in the bleachers in the band. There was a song about that a while back. 2:30 to play in this fourth quarter. Second down and 10. No gain on the play. Ball at the 49-yard line of the Bulldogs. McDowell under center. Now he'll just keep the ball. And another tackle for a loss there. As that was, I believe, number 22, Connor Hall, in on the tackle. I'll bring up third down, and Bulldogs get a first down. This one's over, but the clock's going to run anyway, so by all intents and purposes, this one is over. 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Again, Sioux High trailing Traverse City St. Francis 35-14 after 3 quarters of play. Giving Dave Watson some score updates. That's going to be an incomplete pass. That'll bring up fourth down for the Bulldogs. I'll say hello to Jim and Mitchell Lee Hockey, who are here tonight taking some pictures for 9 and 10 News. For those that don't have DirecTV, you'll be able to see it. For those that do, you won't. I'll just leave it at that. 1 minute left here in this fourth quarter. This very well could be the last play of the game as the clock is running with 50 seconds. Again, I might have one play if they can hurry it up, but at this point you wouldn't think they would. Now McDowell's going to launch it downfield. That's going to be nowhere near anyone, so Engadine will get the ball, but don't think they're going to have time for a play, as the defense will trot on the field for the Bulldogs. Clock running, 30 seconds left. We'll see if Engadine tries to hurry up and run one play here. They did win the half, so something positive to take out of this game for the Eagles. And they didn't give up. You got to give them a lot of credit. Certainly the score line won't show it, and now we are going to have a timeout. So Engadine will have, well, maybe time for a couple plays here if they use their timeouts. 18 seconds left. In this one, Rudyard's going to win. They lead by the score of 49-12. We're keeping an eye on that Newberry-Pickford game. Pickford trailing Newberry here. That game in Newberry, the home finale for the Indians. And certainly would be a big win for them. Boy, Casey Cook must be going absolutely berserk on the broadcast tonight. WNBY Sports is probably having their meters, their levels blown by Casey and his crew. He does a great job out there. One of a kind, Casey Cook, and he's got to be very, very excited for that one. Still have time for maybe a couple plays in this one. 1st and 10, Engadine. Ball at the 48-yard line. We're going to have a flag on the play, and going to be a good gainer there by number 18, Mateus Miller. As the clock will stop with 14 seconds left on the penalty, although I think the referee is going to be calling a penalty, obviously, with the flag. We have another illegal shift. And bring up 2nd down. The clock will run. We'll see if Engadine uses the timeout here. Oh, they're running to the line. They want to run one more play. This will be the last play of the game. See if the Eagles can get one more touchdown, as Miller will keep it. We'll get around a couple players. Well, that'll do it here from Rudyard. Our final score, the Rudyard Bulldogs scored on their first 7 possessions, and they will beat the Engadine Eagles by the score of 49-12. We'll be back with our post-game show. You are listening to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105. Scott Nason back in Rudyard, Michigan for 8-player football. Our final score from Rudyard, the Rudyard Bulldogs, who scored on their first 7 possessions, defeat the Engadine Eagles by the score of 49-12. Recapping the scoring in this game in the second half, well, there was just one touchdown as quarterback Mateus Miller scored a 58-yard touchdown run at the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. After the Bulldogs led by the score of 49-6, that was it. Extra point was no good. And our final score, Rudyard with a 49-12 victory over the Engadine Eagles. Looking at the statistics from this game, E.J. Suggett just played in the first half along with several of the Rudyard starters. Suggett 4 for 5 passing, 119 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They did bring in Damon McDowell in at quarterback in the second half. He was 0 for 3 for 0 yards. Rushing, the Bulldogs were led by Aiden Bickle, 4 carries, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Austin Warner had 3 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. E.J. Suggett, 4 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown. Cam Peterson, 3 carries, 39 yards. Tate Bestman, 1 carry for 5 yards. And number 19, Landon Mayer, 2 carries for 1 yard. Receiving for the Bulldogs, Cam Peterson, 2 receptions, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Tate Bestman, 1 reception, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Austin Warner also had 1 reception, 38 yards, and a touchdown. And Jacob Nolan, 7 for 7 extra points. Engadine was led on the ground by Mateus Miller. He had unofficially 21 carries for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. With the win, Rudyard improves to 5-2 on the season. With the loss, Engadine falls to 0-7. Our next EUP game of the week will be next Friday night from Pickford, as the Pickford Panthers will take on the Cedarville-DeTour Islanders. I'll be filling in for Matt Pocket once again next Friday night. And we'll have the pregame show starting at 6:45. Couple score updates before we let you go. With about 2 minutes left in the ball game, Newberry maintains their lead on Pickford, 28-22. That one living up to expectations. And Newberry possibly with a very big win. It looks like the Soo High Blue Devils will lose. At last check, after 3 quarters of play, Traverse City St. Francis leads the Soo High Blue Devils by the score of 35-14. Want to thank our broadcast engineer back in the Country 105 studios, Tiffany Stratton, doing a great job. First time I've worked with Tiffany, and certainly look forward to working more with her. We got a lot of new broadcast engineers back at Sovereign Communications, and all doing a very good job. Don't forget, if you want to hear the podcast of this game, you can find it tomorrow on the website, thegamesportshow.podbean.com. That's going to do it from Rudyard, Michigan. I want to thank all of you for listening. And once again, our final score, Rudyard knocks off Engadine by the score of 49-12. You have been listening to the EUP Game of the Week on Country 105.